Check it out, y'all. Check it out, y'all. It's your boy Heaven Hollywood. Woo! Lot going on, y'all. Lot going on. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me clearly. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me clearly. Huh? I'm going to check and make sure I'm coming through loud and clear. Let's see. 1 2 1 2. Live on Twitch. What's up, Marcel? Where you been? Live from Twitch, Facebook, right? And of course, the IE Network. I got the Industry Tonight podcast dropping after this show. It's a new podcast that I'm going to be doing. It's going to be about 25 minutes long. So y'all make sure y'all check that out. We're going to be covering a variety of topics tonight. Of course, the lead story everybody's talking about is Stefon Diggs. Stefon Diggs having a resurgence in his career in football. And then this happens. Now, you can kind of see something like this happening. You know, he was he's with Cardi B. You know, him and Cardi B started being in the news a lot. You know, people was, for every little thing moving around, people was putting him in the news. And you just knew something like this. You could see something like this happening. Make sure you put a one in the chat. Make sure you hit the like button coming through the door. Make sure you share this stream and put it through. So, of course, we're going to be talking about Stefon Diggs, the number one story tonight. We're going to be talking about Nicki Minaj, DL Hewley doubled down on his comments. And I believe that petition, I went on record as saying I don't believe, what's up, Sexy 60? I went on record saying I don't believe that petition's going to do anything, but that's when it was around 15, 20,000. From what they say now, it's up around 60,000. Now, I don't believe that, you know, Trump will read that and say, hey, 60,000 people want her back in Trinidad, so I'm going to deport her. I don't see that happening. But one thing that we do know about Trump is that he holds grudges. Now, maybe he has not heard the things Nicki Minaj said about him because he don't have people like 50 Cent's not going to go and remind Trump about what Nicki said about him like he did Diddy, right? So maybe Trump don't know. But Nicki Minaj said some pretty nasty things about Trump over the years too. And if he hears that, he could say, you know, I'm not willing to give her any love or whatever. You know, it was just not long ago when she was making fun of Trump, or talking about Trump pardoning Desiree Perez and Jay-Z. Two people who she said she can't stand. Well, Trump pardoned Desiree Perez, right? So we want to think what people think about Nicki's move. Do they think after all of this, will she live to regret this decision? Or do people think it's the right move? I mean, that's for people to answer. It's not for me to answer whether I think she's making the right move or not. That is for her to answer. You know, depending on what she's after. We got that to talk about. We also got Beyoncé, who is now, at least publicly, a billionaire. I believe Beyoncé was a billionaire once she, at that one point when Ivy Park, I believe, not Ivy Park, at the one point when Parkwood Entertainment had went up to around 600 million or something like that, I was like, oh, she's a billionaire. Because remember, she was already worth about 450. She fully owned Ivy Park for a while. It was doing okay. Parkwood Entertainment the value went up to about 600 million. So at that point, she was a billionaire. But I believe because it was not stable and she didn't know how long she's going to keep that, she didn't report her earnings. But she was a billionaire already. If you recall, Matthew Knowles came online in 2019 and said Beyonce was a billionaire. Everybody said, oh, no, he's just saying that because that's his daughter. Right? So make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and share. All right, so we're going to get into a lot of stuff. All right, so let me see here. Without further ado, having Hollywood experience live in your area. All right, so we're going to talk about those things tonight, man. All right, without further ado, let's get it going. Let's get it going.
I can see something. Look, one way or another, we gon' get up, fill me up about the gutter. Brother, you was out of pocket, no, I didn't stutter. I drop it back in the trap when investing in the streets, your treasures recover. In this world, you could only rep one or two things, the guns to the butter. Whoa, you only rep one or two things, the guns and the butter. Whoa, you only rep one or two things, the guns and the butter. I drop it back in the trap when investing in the streets, your treasures recover. In this world, you could only rep one or two things, the guns to the butter. Sleeping patterns kinda complicated, ain't no time for wasting, we some entrepreneurs. I feeling like Scarface on top of the balcony, the word is yours. Took some losses, I was down bad. Napoleon complex, I'm mad. About to put the game up in the clad bag. Sign sealed and delivered. Chicken dinners, so you roll with the winners. Taking over for the summer. I double back for the winner. I be with the scammers and spinners. Innovators in the middleman. All my riders got a dental plan. None of my shooters got Instagrams. Bang, bang. Got some rich headed out of bounds. Had to hop in the renty to ride around. About to switch up the whisk cause they stalking now. Whispering body dropping on my side of town. Flick of finesse. Known to stay up out the mess. Business is never personal. We can politic the rest. I got a plug and they made me a plug. All my moves on they need to know. Rapper weed got me speaking slow. Bet you pay attention when we speaking up. Keep it drown, you gon' sink or you swim. In the field, we be getting it in. Type of pressure that took boys and the men. Black gotta feel me back at it again. Yeah. One way or another, we gon' get up, fill me up about the gutter.
Good evening, good morning, everybody. It's your boy, Heaven Hollywood. Funky Fresh in the flesh. Once again, welcome to the Heaven Hollywood Experience. I am your gracious and may I say handsome host, Heaven Hollywood. Oh, man. So, we pretty much laid the groundwork about what we're going to be talking about tonight. Things are going down. Shout out to Lo for the theme song. Stefon Diggs in trouble. You got chefs living in his house. Now people are really starting to question. Then there was a word that his girlfriend reached out to the girl. Who's his girlfriend right now? Cardi B. Right? And if there wasn't Cardi B who reached out to him, then that's going to be another story. Because he said his girlfriend They said his girlfriend reached out. We thought that's Cardi B. If that was not Cardi B, now he's got another problem. Right? But if that was Cardi B, now people are going to start saying, there's Cardi B once again trying to reach out to or trying to intimidate a victim, something of what her boyfriend did. You know, remember with the whole Jade and Baddie G, when Jade was messing with Offset, sleeping with Offset, Cardi B went to court because the girl said she sent men over there to beat her up. You know, that's what the girl said. I'm not saying it, but that's what the girl said. Sent men to beat up them when she found they sleeping with Offset, and Cardi B went to court, and I believe she took a plea. So you can take that for what it's worth, right? But this is crazy. Stefon Diggs right in the middle of a great season. Great season. Resurgent season. So we're going to go into everything that we see, man. So let's surf the industry, as I call it. That's how we start off. Let's surf the industry. All right. We're going to start off we're going to go and get into Stefon Diggs, of course. We're going to get into Drake, you know, turning strip clubs into studios. $97 million. His brother just lost his football position. Stefon Diggs just got released? Why did Stefon Diggs get released? Is he still hurt? Stefon Diggs, he got off to a promising start. This dude still hurt or what? But let's surf the industry, shall we? And we do that. We go on Twitter. We'll head on over to Lipstick Alley for a minute. Oh, who is this little chocolate sexy thing? Okay. Another time. Nice. So let's start it off with the first story we get to. Complex saying in an effort to cover almost $1 million worth of debt, Dame Dash sold off his film company, Dame Dash Studios, at an auction. The only part is only one person ended up showing up. And that's Mike Montesa, who has been suing Dame for years. Mike ended up buying the entire company for $100.50. Wow. Wow, Dame Dash. Wow. Oh, man. How the mighty has fallen. Damon Dash, at one point worth about $80 million to $100 million. Sold his music company for $100.50. Wow. Know a lot of people saying, "Oh, your Dame is smart. He got everything in his wife's name and his kid's name." I don't believe so. I don't believe that his wife and his kid's name. I think that's really where Dame Dash is in 2025. I believe his ego just would not allow him, right? His ego would not allow him to admit to people that he was going broke. And he was no longer living the way he used to live. See, Dame Dash has an ego problem. You know what I'm saying? He wants people to think that, oh, he's not struggling. He sees how good Jay's doing, how good Biggs is doing, and all that other stuff. And he just does not want people to think that he's messed up when he is. Right? Wow. So Dame Dash sells his company for $100.50. Beyonce knows, shout out to the Queen of Music, because Beyonce knows was finally publicly named as a billionaire. Now, people like me, personally, I have a big Beyonce fan that comes in my chat and they follow Beyonce and they follow what she was doing. And they told me a couple of years ago that Beyonce was a billionaire. And I was like, well, they're not reporting it. And she said, trust me, I'm going to show you all the proof that Beyonce is a billionaire. So she sent me all these things that Beyonce had owned and was working on. And she sent me the value of them, right? Inside the trade books, I knew it was legit. She sent me the value of all Beyonce's stuff. And she said, Beyonce is a billionaire. She said in 2019. So, and now it comes out that Beyonce got announced in Forbes magazine as only the second Black female billionaire artist. Rihanna, of course, was the first. Singer, even though, of course, Rihanna did have Fenty Beauty, but Beyonce also has Secret. So it's not all music, because she did make money off of Ivy Park, even though it didn't make a lot, and even though she's no longer in that deal with Adidas, she did make some money. And she also made something off of her entertainment company, which is Parkwood. I guess you could still consider that music, though. So she's now worth $1 billion. So shout out to Beyonce with her fine self. Look at that. Good God Almighty. So shout out to Beyonce. And again, like we said, Matthew Knowles said Beyonce was a billionaire back in, I believe it was 2019. Let me see if we can find that. And people are like, oh, he just saying that because that's his daughter. Like he's not a credible source, right? But like I said, he did say this, and now they're announcing it. Matthew Knowles, right, says Beyonce is a billionaire. See if I can find that on YouTube, right? But if I've been 2018, okay. So let's see here. So this was 6 years ago. 6 years ago, he said this. Hold on. All right. And of course, when he said it, a lot of people was like, oh, cap, like, if she is a billionaire, how come ain't nobody said it? And this and the other. But back then, y'all was like, oh, of course, y'all was all saying Forbes was reliable. How come Forbes? It ain't official unless Forbes says it, right? It ain't official unless Forbes says it. All right. So now Forbes says it, but Matthew knows. Come on, man. It's the wrong button. Matthew Knowles said it back in 2018. Come on. Just up out of here, man. All right. See the screen. Here's what Matthew Knowles said back in 2018.
Well, you fast forward to 2019, and according to the internet, Beyonce is worth $400 million. Jay-Z became hip hop's first billionaire.
I think that's they got it a little backwards. Beyonce with Forbes in 2018, along with the owner of Dallas basketball team, Mark Cuban. There's an official process that Forbes goes through to verify. So they both were in the same class of four. Beyonce and Mark Cuban as certified billionaires. So, I'm a nerd. I get information correctly. So that's inaccurate. Beyonce was verified a billionaire. Now, we can say people are billionaires, but they actually verify you. She was verified in 2018.
So that's what Matthew Knowles said. That's her daddy. Now, her daddy should know. And that ain't like her daddy, like how Monique calls her husband her daddy. That's her real daddy. And if he said it, hey, I'm good with it. Right? Shout out to people over checking me out on Twitch. So, this got 7.9 million views on Pop Base, and just the hate is unbelievable. I never thought I would see the day. Right? I never thought I'd see the day that Beyonce would be this hated. Well, y'all down in the comments, my comments for some reason ain't showing. Hold on. Comments ain't showing, but Campbell, that guy will strike you. Vlad. Yeah. That's why I use it during a live, and I never use him during videos, because if he strikes me, I'll just cut it out. But at least people got to hear it live. But if he strikes me, like, he can't copyright something for that short a time. But if it was up on if they hits me with a copyright ding or whatever, yeah, I'll just remove it. Right. So Beyonce, according to Matthew Knowles, even though we never saw it, according to Matthew Knowles, she was already a billionaire and everybody else is late. So shout out to Beyonce either way, man. Right? Now here goes people. She's not a billionaire in my book. She hasn't done anything to warrant her being in that list. What? She hasn't? But so who has? If Beyonce hasn't done anything to warrant being on that list, she's only probably the hardest working person in music. And everyone has said that. You know, like I said on my podcast, right? Like I said on my podcast, if Michael Jackson and Prince tells me that they believe Beyonce is amazing and they were shocked how much she knew about music, how hard she worked. Prince was talking about how much she knew about vocals. And if they say it, then why am I gonna believe somebody else? Why am I gonna believe somebody else? Right? Michael Jackson knows a little something about music. Let's see what he's talking about. Hold on.
First of all, I would like to thank Beyoncé for giving me such an amazing opportunity. Before I leave the stage, I'd like to again thank Beyoncé.
Michael thanked her twice. Now, the rumors was, and that's why Eddie Murphy was back there laughing, right?
First of all, I would like to thank Beyoncé for giving me such an amazing opportunity. Before I leave the stage, I'd like to again thank Beyoncé.
Now remember, the rumors were that Michael was real sweet on Beyonce. Michael wanted Beyonce. MJ wanted him some B now. That's why, and Eddie Murphy told that story, and that's why he's back there cackling. That's why he's back there cackling, right? So, you know, that's what, when it comes down to people saying Beyonce is overrated and so that, all I do is go say, well, Prince didn't think that. Prince didn't think that. And if he says Beyonce is amazing, I'm going to listen to Prince before I listen to some hater on the internet. I'm going to listen to Michael Jackson, right? Before I listen to some hater on the internet, right? So shout out, man, to B, man. Now, Doechii, y'all. Woohoo! All right, Doechii said, who said wait a minute, who said hip-hop is dead? Who said girls ain't out here rapping? Who said that? So, Doechii, man, just dropped a song with the girl SZA. She addressed, the song is called Girl Get Up. She went at Joe Budden, academics, whoever else was calling her a industry plant. She was going at him, man. And the song is fire. The song is absolute fire. I'm going to try to play a little bit of it. I'll try to play a little bit of it from my phone. That way I'll try not to get dinged. But if y'all did not hear it yet, the song is fire. And it's just like how I want. This is just how I want Drake to come back. We're going to get into Drake a little bit later. But this is how I want Drake to come back, man. Rapping and having something. And if he's singing, just sing on the hook. That's it. Just sing on the hook, man.
My first German gift.
You know, so
the cable bracelet.
If y'all have not checked out the song yet, you need to. She is giving me a lot of people, you know, of course, all Nicki Minaj fans think everybody sounds like Nicki Minaj, but she's giving me a lot of Doja Cat, a lot of Doja vibe. I can hear where they say, where they would say Nicki Minaj, but I'm getting a lot of Doja Cat vibe from there. And you have to remember, she hung around Doja Cat a lot. She hung around Doja Cat a lot. She was on tour with Doja Cat. But the stuff she's talking about, in here, man, is she is, you know, pretty much attacking the whole industry plant, you know, the industry plant stuff. And also said Doechii since 2025 out with a recap. Doechii just industry plant, Kendrick Lamar co-signed. So let's see here. Her lyrics. Some of the lyrics on this. Wow. Some of the lyrics on this, Girl, Get Up. Let's see. I'm really going to focus on, well, you heard what she just said about things get dark when you're dark like me. Life gets dark when you're dark like me. I'm going to do a review to it after the show. Life gets dark when you're dark like me. Times get hard when with a heart this big. Mouths get fed when your ass this thick. Whoo, her ass is thick. Count my sheep and I catch my Z's. I don't read y'all tweets. I delete y'all threads. That's a lie. She definitely reads the tweets because later on she commented about what everybody's saying. So you can't say you don't read that, you delete y'all tweets and don't read y'all threads, because you later on said all that industry plant S is whack. I see it on the blogs. I see it. I see you in the chats. Well, if you don't read the tweets and delete the threads, how do you see it? You suck every rap N-words D from the back, but what's the agenda when the it girl black? Y'all can't fathom that I worked this hard, and y'all can't fathom that I earned this chart. Y'all can't stand my vibe because I'm anointed. All y'all evil A304s just annoying. Blame it on the fame. Blame it on the coke. Blame it on the Doechii. Got you feeling low. Y'all want to bleed. Y'all believe I'm on rugs and forsaken. They won't credit me, so they blame it on Satan. Blame it on my label. Blame it on my team. End of the day, everything is on me, Miss Bag Lady, Little Miss Sire, Little Miss hire them 304s, then fire them. Now the third verse is where she goes crazy. The third verse is where she goes crazy, y'all. Let me bring the screen up here and put Doechii on the screen. Y'all got to see Doechii. right? So the third verse to me is where she really went nuts, right? And somebody said she's been around forever. Yeah, a lot of people. That's why I don't get the whole she's the industry plant. A lot of Drake fans say that. A lot of Nicki Minaj fans say that. But Doechii's not giving me industry plant vibes because she's been around. This ain't Bad Baby or Ice Spice. I could see if you say Ice Spice, right? Because Ice Spice came out of nowhere, you know, Pump, DJ Pump, stuff like that. But she doesn't give me industry. She doesn't give me industry plant at all. Because I've heard of Doechii before she, kind of blew up. I heard about Doechii. Third verse, she said, they calling me the intellect among the P-rap. I still be popping P, them my sisters, so I can't agree with that. These N-words misogynistic. I'll address it on the album. For now, let's sink into the fact that hate don't make you powerful. Y'all monitoring spirits. Go monitor that checkbook. Fashion Week was radical. Diamonds what my neck took. Tried to turn the other cheek, but y'all just too damn extra. I had to take it to the stew and show these N-words pressure. Go ahead, Doechii. Father, forgive them. They gonna be hurt when I deliver. The album 6 months old. It need a effing babysitter. I did years of falling, plus a lot of cold winters. Used to be a starving artist. Now I want the whole dinner. B, I want my things. Nissan to a Bentley coupe. F you mean. Got a cosign from K. Dot. She's baby Keem. God keep me from the bitterness. Help me reach the masses. All the black women gonna feel this S. How can you hate on that? What's up, Crimson? How can you hate on that? You can't. You can't. And oh my God, the ass is thick. The ass is thick. That's my new lingo. The ass is thick, y'all. Oh, chocolate. Woo. Woo. Just thick. She is definitely slim thick. That is the epitome of slim thick right there, boy. Good gracious. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to SZA. Of course, just takes the song to another level. You got 2 chocolate bars, one Milky Way and one Hershey's milk chocolate. Hershey's dark chocolate and one Milky Way. Oh, have mercy. Don't get no better, man. Doechii is rapping. Can nobody say nothing about, oh, she ain't rapping and she's out there. And she even gave props to even the girls who talking about P or pushing P. She said, those are my sisters. Y'all not going to get me. I'm not going to agree with y'all because those are my sisters. The ones that's popping P. She said, I still pop it sometimes. Right? So shout out to Doechii. Now, excuse me. We don't talk about academics because academics was so-called giving news about Drake. And I'm sorry, I just don't believe academics has the scoop on Drake because he never gets an interview. Like he never comes back and says anything that Drake does. It seems like Maul gets more stuff than Drake. I'm serious. Seems like Maul texts him and he texts Maul back, and Let me see here. There was something out there about Area 29. Hold on. Academics. Drake. Iceman. So Academics is on here saying that Drake is playing Iceman to certain people, right? He said Drake is out here playing Iceman to certain people. Let me see here. Let me see if I can find that clip. Let me see. So here it is here. So DJ Academics, right? Believe Iceman's almost ready and explains why he thinks Drake should do the proper rollout for the album. He's having a few folks listen to the album. I haven't gotten word to that it's finished. And it's not finished, and I'll tell you why. But if I had to guess, I would think that this album is nearing its final stages. I do think that he should go through a rollout. This is really important. This is a really important album in your life. It's kind of interesting. No matter how successful Drake is, some will say either do or hate or doubt his next album always seems to become his most important album. So here's what he said.
Way. Now, granted, I do think that he should go through a rollout. Like I've advised that
he's not listening to you, Academics. Sorry. You give a Drake advice.
Drake does a rollout. Okay. I don't think the I'm doing my radio show, album drops in 2 days. It'll work in terms of it's still a very highly anticipated album, but I do think that
not like it was.
Drake should do a rollout. You're coming off. This is a really important album in your life, and it's kind of interesting. No matter how successful Drake is, some way, somehow, either due to hate or doubt, his next album always seems to become his most important album. We're looking at it like, damn, his career might hinge on how this album is. If this album is ass, people might be like, yo, the battle fucked you up. You couldn't make good music after that. If this album's amazing, we come back and say, damn, yo, he bounced back real quick. He still run this shit. So we'll see.
So, again, DJ Academics does not really sound too confident anymore. Not like how he was before, right? And I'll tell you one thing. I'm looking forward to new Drake stuff. However, if this new album has a bunch of R&B and Afro beats, and it has just as many Afro beats and R&B songs as it does hip-hop songs, I don't want it. I don't want it, and here's why. Not that I don't like Drake's R&B music or melodic rap, but you need to come back, and even though this album also had R&B stuff on it, you got to come back with an album like Scorpion, where if it's going to be R&B, you got to give us one whole side. The whole first side needs to be rap, just like how you were with Scorpion, when you had something to prove, the battle with Pusha T, right? And people were saying, oh, Pusha T got Drake. And what does he do? Boom, dropped Scorpion, did 800,000 in the first week or 900,000, some crazy number, right? This is what he needs to come back with. Do not come back with, you know, songs like you had on with Party Next Door. Go pretty girl, the whole world. Like, what? I know that song went crazy in the club and people that, but to me, I never liked that song. I didn't fall for it. I thought the song sucked. I thought the song was stupid. And, you know, people, Drake fans just was interested in the number so they could say, see, Drake ain't going nowhere. Yeah, but, you know, he was doing that with a melodic record. Right, I get that. That made him Drake. However, Sexy 60, my favorite Drake album is Thank You Later. That cause and why? Because it's mostly rap. You see, there are guys out there who like Drake when he raps. I know Kendrick said we like Drake when the melodies. Not me. Not me. Maybe the ladies do. And maybe the Cold Drake fans don't have anything, but me, the Drake I like is on, yeah, singing is fine. The melody's on the hook. It was fine when he said, back for you. I just waited time to do what I had to do, caught in my mind. You know why that was okay? Because he said, I talk slicker than a pimp from Augusta. So I'm good with the singing as long as you come in with some crazy bars during the verse. You know what I mean? I don't mind. Let's see. I don't mind. Girl, you're my everything. Don't ever done it. You know the everything. Never done it. Cause you hold me down. Because the verses was fire. You know what I mean? But here's the thing, Sexy 60. I don't think he can come back like that this time and people say, oh yeah, Drake's back. Because these songs he released during this little Kendrick run, what was everybody saying? You're done. The same old stuff. I'm telling you, it's the same thing that was happening to Nicki Minaj during her little hate train with Cardi B. People saying, oh, yeah, still rap about the same thing. Oh, yeah, all these bees are your sons. Yeah. Oh, same old flow. They were saying that Nicki Minaj had the same old flow. I'm like, what? So I don't think that Drake can come back with this Afro beats, Party Next Door R&B. To me, Drake should have come back, say, listen, I'm going back to the drawing board. I'm going back to the producers I had on my first two albums. 40, Boy Wonder, Swizz Beats, Timbaland. I'm going back to that. I'm going to show y'all playing in my face. Y'all gonna stop playing with me once and for all. He knows he can do the Afro beats. He knows he can do the melodic rap because people are saying, oh yeah, of course that song is a hit. We love Drake when he sings. We love Drake with the melodies. No, Drake got to come back with a rap album. What same writers? Drake. What do you mean? What same writers? They don't. There was no writers on those albums. Those albums had Drake on it. The album that wrote with that dude, I didn't even like that album. So I'm glad he don't have Quentin Miller anymore. Those first couple albums, don't do that. Don't do that. Drake was writing those albums. Those songs got his name on it. Let's not do that. That album that, in case you're reading me or whatever, that had the 3 songs that Quentin Miller wrote. I hate when y'all come out like, oh, Quentin Miller wrote the whole album. He wrote 3 songs, 1 verse from 3 songs. Drake had to write the second verse. And what about all those other songs? What about the songs that people paid Drake to write? If Drake couldn't write, nobody would not be paying him to write songs if he couldn't write. The songs that Quentin Miller wrote the first verse to me, when I found out that Quentin Miller was collaborating, that's when I said, oh, so that's why them songs was trash. Because when I heard that, running through the hell with my woe, I was like, what is this garbage? Then when I found out later on that Quentin Miller wrote, I said, oh, okay. Well, that explains it. That's why it was trash. No, he didn't. Kanye West is not R&B. Dr. Dre wasn't R&B either. Those were rap. Dr. Dre's album was rap. Kanye West is not R&B. Kanye West was also rap. All right, so if he couldn't write, Kanye West said, I wish I could have Drake write my entire album. If it was up to me, Drake would write my entire album. So those first albums, Drake was writing. What's his name? Quentin Miller wrote a couple of verses on different songs. He wrote about 3 or 4 on 3 or 4 songs and wrote a verse on it. Drake had to write the second verse to those songs. Quentin Miller did not write one entire song. All right. And that same Quentin Miller wrote on Nas's album King Disease. So we're going to say that Nas can't rap either, and Nas writes his own stuff. Nas don't write his own stuff either, I guess, because Quentin Miller also got a writing credit on Nas's album. So we now going to say that Nas used ghostwriters? It's called collaborations. So Drake needs to go back to that. Go back into the studio. I need to hear some raps. I don't want to hear singing. I don't want to hear singing. I need some tell me what's really going on. I need to hear that stuff. 9 p.m. in Dallas. 5 a.m. in Toronto. Like, I need to hear that. I already know he can do the Afro beats. I already know that stuff. I know he can do R&B. We want to hear rap. At least N-words do. I don't know about B-words. Maybe they like the singing. I don't want to hear no singing. Because if you come back with Iceman, everybody's saying that, oh, Drake, as far as rap goes, he's done. You have to come back and prove you can still rap. Those are, you already proved when you came back with that, damn, the baby girl in the world. Like, people thought that, and people sat around here and said that was hot. Oh, my goodness. Oh, look, it did this amount of streams. And I don't give a damn what it did. That song was trash. That song was trash. And the video was trash. Drake could do way better than that. So I personally heard, and like I reported before, that Iceman is getting switched around. He dropped a couple of those songs, you know, no face, no face, no face, no face, no face. I'm like, yeah. Sounds like your other records, bro. You got to give me something else, man. The song was okay on the one when he said, Melissa Ford, you the queen of the six. I hate to see you with a D sucker. All right. No checks, or I forgot what that one was called. That was all right. But I need to hear stuff like the joint with Jack Harlow. I need those bars. I need those bars. So we're going to see, man. We're going to see. I don't think that it's as much excitement, let's say, as it was 2 months ago, especially when that whole rollout joint that he was doing on YouTube, right? That joint he was doing on YouTube, everybody got amped up for it. But then he did it again. I'm like, wait a minute, that takes away the exclusivity. And when he did the second time, I was like, these songs are not that good. Like, what's going on? Like, why are you showing you working in an ice place and driving from, if your album wasn't coming out, you did that last year, showing that he's working like in the, I'm like, okay. It's showing Pinocchio chasing him, and I don't know where that's supposed to be. Kids, I thought that whole shit was corny. I didn't think that. I thought that was corny. He's got Pinocchio chasing him, okay, following him, and I'm like, what is he trying to get out of this? And then he's like working, look like he's working like in the ice factory, and then he gets off and he's like driving all the way downtown. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? And I could see if that was rolling out, right? I could see if he was rolling that album out that night or something like that. But now months and months and months has passed, bro. Like, what are you doing? See, DJ Academics ain't going to tell you, but I'm going to tell you, right? DJ Academics is going to glaze everything that you do. I'm not going to do that. I love Drake, but I don't love him that much that I'm just going to glaze. I need you to come back with raps. I need you to come back with Thank Me Later, Drake. Nothing was the same, Drake. That's what I need. Nothing is the same. That's what I need. I do not need Marvin's Room. Marvin's Room's okay, not Marvin's Room, but I don't need. I don't need that. So hopefully Drake don't come back with that. Now the song that he should have dropped, that he still haven't dropped to this day, was a song with Uzi. Now that song was fire. The song with Uzi, that was fire. Never dropped it. And come back with some new collabs. I don't want to hear any collabs with the same people. I don't want to hear you in 21 anymore. I better not hear Yachty ever again with you. I don't want to hear any more Future. You got like 10 songs of Future and a whole album. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear none of these people. I don't want to hear you and Party Next Door anymore. You know, you want to do come back with a joint with Doja Cat. Right? Come back with a joint with Doja Cat. Come back with a joint with, Taylor Swift singing on the hook and you rapping. Something like that. Something that's going to shake the room. Imagine if Drake come back with a joint with Taylor Swift. That song's going #1 right out the back. So you do that to get you back #1 in the charts. And now you could say, you could do away with all that. He'll never go #1 again. There you go. I put out this joint with Taylor Swift. Now what? Now what? You know the song's going #1 with Taylor Swift on it. Hell, Taylor Swift almost went #1 with Ice Spice. So I put the joint out with Taylor Swift singing on the hook and me rapping. That's the first thing I do. Right? So get you back in the fold. I want to hear you with the baby. I want to hear you with the baby. I want to hear you with an old school dude. Whether it be 50 Cent, whether it be Nas. Nas is out there. Nas is out there making music. You and Nas. You and Cameron. You and Ghostface. These boys is out here active. Any of them old heads that's still rapping, they would love to get a song with Drake. They all say it all the time. Yo, Drake, holla at me. They love to get a record with Drake. But we're not going to be going through the same thing over and over again. But back to that damn Doechii. Joe Button, how you feeling, Joe Button? Doechii came at your neck, sir. Doechii came at your neck, sir. It's whack. I see it on the blogs. I see it in the chat back. But what's the agenda when the it girl black? Y'all can't fathom that I worked this hard, and y'all can't fathom that I earned this chart, and y'all can't stand my vibe because I'm anointed, and y'all evil ass 304s just annoying. Blame it on the fame, blame it on the coat, blame it on the Say got you feeling low. That is a reference from Blame It on the Alcohol. Yes. Yes, Doechii. With your fine black ass. Whew. All right. Cardi B. Well, let's get to Nicki Minaj. I want to find this video that I was watching, and I was like, I gotta play this during my show, right? It was a video that just came out. Yuli, because we all know DL Yuli doubled back down. He doubled back down on what Nicki Minaj did with MAGA. Leaks. Nicki Minaj deal with MAGA. So let's go with this here. Hold on. Let me see what this is. Damn, look at Nicki there. Woo! Jeez. Hold on. Let's go over this real quick. Now, again, he has doubled down and said, I meant everything I said. He said, I meant everything I said, damn it. So let's go here. I don't think this is the video that I looked at earlier, but I'm going to share this screen. Just DL Hughley still talking about the leak and the reason why Nicki Minaj went MAGA. And we all know MAGA rhymes with NAGA.
She supports a dude that is on the Epstein list 1,000 times. She's actually married to a registered offender.
And that brings me back to our great president and this administration.
Y'all think that she is just trying to get her brother and her hubby pardoned out of jail by Donald Trump?
Nicki Minaj's brother and his attorneys thought he would be walking out of court a free man today. Jelani Mirage was convicted last November of repeatedly an 11-year-old girl.
Nicki Minaj's husband pleaded guilty to failing to register as a sex offender. Kenneth Petty was convicted of attempted rape of a 16-year-old girl in 1995.
This whole Nicki MAGA Minaj mess just took another crazy twist. So now DL Hughley hopped in and joined the squad of fans who are convinced that Nicki is cozying up to Trump because she's trying to score a pardon for her brother, who's a convicted rapist, and get her offender husband off that registry list. And who better for the job than Trump? Now, this is all speculation for now, but when you look at the timeline, things start to look kind of sus. See, Nicki spent years publicly dragging Trump. And yes, I got the receipts ready for y'all. But now, all of a sudden, she's out here calling Trump a role model.
Dear young men, you have amazing role models like our handsome, dashing president.
But let's not forget that just a few months ago, Nicki was shading Trump on X for pardoning Roc Nation's CEO, Desiree Perez. But now she's saying Trump's a role model for men? Somebody please explain this to me. Either Nicki really went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, or she's really desperate to get her brother and husband off the hook. So let's get into the tea on exactly what DL Hughley said about Nicki hopping on the MAGA train, and why fans are convinced this whole thing is tied to her husband and her brother.
Just talked to Donald Trump, and I told him that you were performing tonight. I asked him if he was a fan of yours.
Oh.
What do you think he said?
He probably said, "Who's that?"
No, he didn't.
All right, so let's first get into DL Hughley's reaction to Nicki simping for Trump and cozying up to Erica Kirk. So during her talk with Erica at the AmFest last weekend, Nicki went on this weird rant about how MAGA is all about protecting the kids and how she personally cares so much about kids' safety, and apparently, especially white.
Now, again, this whole thing, this is the part that gets me. I could care less who Nicki votes for. I could care less if Nicki is a Republican. Like I said before on many occasions, I expect celebrities who are millionaires to be Republicans. Matter of fact, I'm shocked when they're not. If I was a celebrity and I was a millionaire, right? If I was a celebrity and I was a millionaire, not a billionaire where like Taylor and Jay-Z and Beyoncé, whatever. But if I'm just a millionaire, like DJ Academics or like Kai Cenat or like Nicki Minaj, 100 millionaire, worth 150, worth 200 million, somewhere in there, not nowhere near a billion. But if I'm a millionaire like that, I'm probably going to be a Republican too. Because I know Republicans are going to benefit me more. especially Donald Trump, because Donald Trump cares about the rich. He don't care about the middle class. He don't care about the poor. Now, when you're billionaires like Beyonce, you don't have to cape for Trump. Right? You don't have to cape for Trump. But I'm always of the notion that most celebrities are Republicans. Just all of them don't come out and say it. So I don't care who she votes for. My strictly issues were two things. The comment about the black women, that bothered me to no end. That's still the one that bothers me the most. Telling black women they need to lay off white women and you don't need to make a blonde hair and blue-eyed woman feel bad in order to make yourself feel good. I don't know any sisters that do that. That's the first thing. The second thing is the whole thing about Donald Trump being a role model. How is Donald Trump a role model? Tell me. You would want your son to emulate Donald Trump? You would want your child to emulate Donald Trump? To follow Donald Trump? Right? She said Donald Trump is a role model. J.D. Vance, didn't he have a weird case too? J.D. Vance, this is the type of men that she called role models.
The white kids.
I don't want what was done to little black girls done to little white girls. I don't want it done to any girls.
Now Nicki, of all people, acting like she's all about protecting kids is not just ironic, but deeply disturbing when you look at the men she chooses to associate with and defend. And this is exactly what DL Hughley pointed out in a video he shared in response to Nicki's rant. DL said, Nicki is the last person who should talk about protecting kids, considering who she's married to. DL said, Nicki shouldn't post anything about kids, because her husband can't be within 1,000 feet of one. It ain't Gavin Newsom, it's Chris Hansen she should be worried about. And late on, DL doubled down on his comments in a video, saying this.
She supports a dude that is on the Epstein list 1,000 times. She's actually married to a registered. She shouldn't be able to watch Jason Kidd or listen to Kid and Play or New Kids on the Block. Hell, she got to walk around the aisle with Cabbage Patch Kids on it. And she damn sure should stay away from Sour Patch Kids.
But jokes aside, a lot of fans are now speculating that Nicki going MAGA might have something to do with not just her offender husband, but also her brother, who's currently serving 25 years in prison. Now, you never hear Nicki talk about her brother in public, and that's not a coincidence. This man was found guilty of the worst type of crime, and yet Nicki wrote to the judge begging for a lighter sentence. Here's what happened. Nicki's brother, Jelani Mirage, was convicted of the most despicable crime against his 11-year-old stepdaughter, and the victim testified that the attacks happened up to 4 times a week and sometimes twice a day. The investigators found physical evidence that matched Jelani's DNA on the victim's pajamas, and in January 2020, Jelani was sentenced to 25 years to life in prison. But despite the DNA evidence and the guilty verdict, Nicki supported her brother, and she even wrote a letter to the judge.
By the way, Hennessy and Coke, cheers, everybody. Happy New Year.
Asking for a lighter sentence and calling Jelani the most patient, gentle, genuine, giving, selfless man I know. So this is the person who's now ranting about protecting kids and calling Trump a role model. And what makes her look even more hypocritical in all this is that she literally spent years publicly hating on Trump, not just during his first term, but also when he announced his campaign for the second run. For years, Nicki was dragging Trump for his anti-immigration policy, and she even put it in her bars. Remember the track Black Barbies, where she rapped, Island Girl, Donald Trump want me go home, $500,000 on the Maybach Pullman, boarded, now I'm praying all my foreigns don't get deported. Nicki also used to clown Trump all over social media back when he was first running for president. She was dragging him for everything, from his looks to the way he tried to speak Spanish. Y'all remember that time she posted a video on IG of Trump butchering the word man in Spanish?
The bad ones. We have some bad people in this country that have to go out. We're going to get them out. We're going to secure the border. And once the border is secured, at a later date, we'll make a determination as to the rest. But we have some bad hombres here, and we're going to get them out.
Nicki shared this clip on Instagram and wrote, "It's the clueless face that really has me laughing. It's as though he really doesn't know it's bad." On another note, I think Michelle should absolutely run in 8 years. And then there was also that scene in Nicki's MTV documentary, My Time Now, where Nicki called out Trump as an example of misogyny in the industry. But now Nicki all of a sudden thinks Trump is a role model for young men? Now fast forward to 2020, and Nicki was still fiercely anti-Trump, even after a bunch of black celebs started endorsing him. In fact, she made it very clear she wasn't about to jump on the Trump bandwagon, and those were her exact words. And then when you add that post Nicki shared last July about Trump pardoning Desiree Perez, it's clear this whole MAGA.
So, again, I just wanted to show this because when I was saying all these things, everybody was like, no, she's never been against Trump. And I just couldn't find all of the things I needed to find at the time. But I'm like, I'm glad that I found this video. Well, somebody actually sent me the video because they were like, oh, here's all the stuff you were talking about. And this is what I was trying to find.
A switch up is super recent. Like we're talking a few months. Because seriously, how is it even possible that just months ago, Nicki was throwing shade at Trump for pardoning Desiree, the same woman Nicki claims tried to destroy her career. But now she's out here calling Trump the greatest president ever? I mean, what happened in those few months? What made Nicki flip like that? Now look, nobody really knows for sure what's going on, but fans have definitely been talking. And as always, the opinions are wild. Some folks out here are saying Nicki might be on that snow and slowly losing her grip on reality. One fan said, "I was done with Nicki when she went on the coke rants. Like, why would she be a role model when she's high as hell screaming? Why would I fangirl over an addict?" And someone else wrote, "Why is nobody talking about the fact that Nicki Minaj's pivot to the right is 100% due to the fact that she's broke AF? Addiction will drain you of everything you have, no matter who you are, and B needs the check bad. Opioids and coke are a hell of a combo." But then you also got the other side, who are saying this sudden flip could...
Allegedly, I'm not going to say, Nicki Minaj has not ever shown that she was on cocaine. So the words expressed is not necessarily the words of the IE network or Heaven Hollywood or Wes Clark. So we're not saying that Nicki Minaj is on any rugs. That's not me. This is from this video. So just want to put that out there.
Clip could actually be about Nicki trying to score a pardon for her brother and get her husband off that registry list. Someone on X said, "Nicki Minaj is one stupid bee. She's not fooling anyone. She's working with Trump to pardon her rapist brother and clear her husband's rape charges. Stop supporting that disgusting ish." And another user responded to Nicki's post about defending Christians and wrote, "Nicki's husband and her brother are two men who can't be within 500 feet of a school. She knowingly married a grapist. She defends her brother, who is also a grapist, and she targets their victims. Nicki doesn't care about children, and she certainly is not a real Christian."
Okay, so we pretty much get the point, right? So there's videos like this all over the place. There's also this stupid petition. Like, to me, I think it's a waste of time, but hey, what do I know? But I did hear it's up to like 60,000 people or something like that. And of course, that's still not going. I don't even think 100,000 people is going to get her deported, right? Because what do petitions really do? Like, I've never seen any petition, right? Nicki Minaj petition. I haven't ever seen no petition that worked. If y'all see a petition that worked, y'all let me know. I don't think them joints, I've never seen one that worked. Like, oh yeah, there's 60,000 people. There's freaking 1 billion people in the world, and 60,000 of them, right? Just think about it. On December 26th, it was only at 3,000. Last thing I heard, it was up to 60. So this person, and shout out to the executive media, but they are anti-Nicki Minaj. It says the deport Nicki Minaj petition is now the #1 frontrunner on the desk of Joe Ellen Darcy, the United States Assistant Secretary of the Army. Now, oh my God. So yesterday, the petition calling for Nicki Minaj's deportation of her country of Trinidad has officially surpassed an incredible 50,000 signatures. Did the Grammy list rappers MAGA pandering fail? This is nuts. Again, I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to work, but just the fact that 52,000 people, and it's more than that now, signed a petition. Sometimes I be in the bushes. Oh, okay. Why isn't she a citizen yet? That's her fault. I mean, that's true. A lot of these celebrities, I mean, it's weird, like how she's not. I would have thought she would have gotten a honorary citizenship by now, but she hasn't. And from what they say, when she applied after getting married, she got denied because of the issues that her husband had. At least that's what they were saying. I don't know if that's true or not, but because he had the on the list, and because he had those charges, people were saying they denied her green card. So I'd have to double check that and see if that is the truth. I mean, if they take that into consideration, I could see that, him being a citizen, but him being a felon, I can definitely see them putting that into perspective. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I have to say, man, I didn't think that I would ever see the day where people are trying to deport. Somebody put in the chat, what happened to the day when nobody cared about? Exactly. This is why I wish that they took social media away, right? I wish celebrities would all say, we're all getting off social media, right? Because Sexy 60 hit it right on the head. We used to didn't care about who celebrities voted for. We used to didn't care about what political party they followed. We used to didn't care about none of that stuff. Until social media came to play, and then we started finding out what they do on a daily basis. You know what I mean? You used to be happy to see celebrities because you didn't see them much. Now, when Twitter first started, everybody was just so amped up. Oh man, we get to interact with a celebrity. We get to interact with a celebrity. That's how it was. When Twitter first started, everybody was so gassed up. I remember Diddy was one of the first people to use Twitter, and then when they started seeing that the celebrities were on Twitter, everybody said that's why most people went and got a Twitter. But as these generations and places like TikTok has evolved, and these conspiracy theorists have come on to and infiltrated TikTok. That is what helped kill the celebrity. Conspiracy theorists. And this generation, this fan base is just getting younger and younger. So the new generation is coming on here, and they're hearing all this stuff, all these conspiracy theories, and they're believing it. That's why celebrities all of a sudden has turned into enemies. People hate celebrities now. They hate celebrities. They blame them for the sex trafficking. They blame them for, with the sex parties. They blame them for pedophilia. It's like celebrities are now the scapegoats for everything. They blame them for airplane crashes. They blame them for deaths. Everything. Somebody goes to jail, they blame a celebrity. Somebody dies in a car crash, blame a celebrity. Ex trafficking, celebrity. PDF, celebrities. It's like celebrities now get blamed for everything. And that's that TikTok world. Everybody thinks everything now is fake. Everybody thinks everything is conspiracy. Sports is a conspiracy. Football, they're saying now, rigged. Basketball, they say, is rigged. They say the Grammys are rigged. They say the Oscars are rigged. Like, they saying all these things are rigged because of people on TikTok that's coming on TikTok, finding out stuff that they never would have found out if social media didn't exist. Finding out things that happened 30 years ago. And they're coming on making these stories 30 years later. When if there wasn't a social media, people would not even know what happened 30 years ago. Because people and celebrities, a lot of them kept all that stuff quiet. It wasn't until the whole situation with Diddy, with the lawsuit, like nobody was saying anything. Look how long the Diddy stuff stayed quiet. You know what I mean? The underage, this and that. Man, all them celebrities done been with a girl underage. Trust me. I know. They all done been with a girl 17 or under. All of them. They just didn't get caught. Or the girls didn't say anything. All of them dudes been with girls 17 or under. If that girl come up on them and she got a bad body and she finds her way backstage, most of the time they'd be like, oh, how old are you? And she'd be like 18 or 19. And if the girl tell them she 18 or 19, even if they think she may not be, they're going to be like, they was like, F it. She told me she was 18. It ain't my job to check her ID. I'm just asking her. If she lied to me, how am I know she lying? Then there was some girls that came in with fake IDs. did it all the time. Girls used to try to get fake IDs to get into Nagasaki. Let me tell you something. The club Nagasaki, anybody in New York that's ever been in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, Nagasaki, then turned to Club Jamrock. Girls used to be trying to give bouncers dome to get in that club. That's how fire and how popping Nagasaki was late 90s. Sure. Or I'll say from mid 90s to early 2000s to when it became Jamrock. There used to be girls, that waiting list and that line in Nagasaki, and you can look it up. And if anybody used to go, ask them. In Long Island, in New York, that line would be wrapped around the corner. People trying to get in there. Girls would be coming up, finding the bouncing like, yo, go in the back real quick. I'll sign you up if you let me get in. Let me cut this line. Like bouncers used to be getting dome to let girls in. I'm going to do a video about Nagasaki, man. But so these celebrities, Ghostface said it in one of his records. Damn right, I F fans. 17 and older. He didn't say 18. He said 17. DMX got a song about a girl who was 16. Right, Sexy 60. That's where they looked at it. She's here. She must be of age because you can't get in this club if you ain't 21. So she's in here. I'm going to assume she's 21. They show up with the fake ID, and a lot of them bouncers knew them IDs were fake. But some bad 18-year-old, 17-year-old that look older, she come in there, she throw her high heel pumps on. She come to the door with an ID. My boy used to work bounce at Jamrock. And sometimes I would stay by the door like until doors closed. Like I think like they would let the last person in 1 o'clock. Then he would go downstairs. Sometimes I would stay upstairs with him by the door. And I would see some of these chicks that come in. And then see them girls throw on the high heels, them little short chicks throw on the high heels and come to the door with their ID, show my man, and he look at the ID, look at them, look at the ID, look at them, and he'd be like, you know I know this is fake, right? How old are you? And she'd be like, oh, I'm 21. And then most of the time they'd be like, man, go on in there and don't get in no trouble and don't drink. You know what I mean? But they would just go in there and get their homegirl to buy them a drink. You know what I'm saying? So, and most of the time, these dudes, and like I said, I told people the Timberland story so many times. Mothers was back there dropping off their daughters. Mothers trying to get back there with Timberland, trying to bring their daughters back there. They used to do it with New Edition too. When New Edition was 15, 16, 17 years old, the mamas would be trying to go back there and F New Edition. Their mothers in their 20s and 30s. They would have their 15-year-old daughter with them. The mothers would be back there. Oh, yeah. Trying to get at Ricky Bell and Ron DeVoe. They were the ones that was 18. You know, they didn't come out at 18, but once they turned 18, the mamas be back there trying to get Ralph Tresvant. All them grown women was trying to smash Ralph Tresvant. Bringing their 15-year-old daughters back there. The daughter and the mom. I done seen the because New Edition, those are my boys. I used to see daughters and mamas getting into fights. over who gonna get the D on Ralph. Crazy, man. Daughters fighting mamas for the D. It's nuts. But again, back to Nicki Minaj. I don't know how I went there, but I did. Red lipstick was the icing on the cake for looking of age. 60, you talking from experience, huh? Yep. Me, I almost smashed a 17-year-old when I was over 21. Almost. But I caught myself, right? And I was like, she was going to be 18 in like a week. Right? Now, I definitely kissed her when she was 17. What was I, like 22? Yeah, I was 22. She was 17, right? This little redhead chick that used to roller skate to work. Oh, she was so fine. And like every dude wanted this broad. Her name is Christy. She's had red tease hair. And she used to roller skate everywhere. So she would roller skate to work. I'm like, who this little thick little roller skating ass bitch? And everybody's like, oh, that's Christy. Like, her mama is one of the bosses here. Oh, you ain't gonna get that. You might as well leave that alone. So I'm like, oh, okay. Shoot. I start throwing my little lines around, throwing my lines around and throwing my lies around. Lines and lies. Like back in my 20s. Oh my God, I was a beast. And I hit her with the right line and the right lie. Next thing you know, man, she was ready to come up out them drawers. So she had got a car. Her 18th birthday was coming up. She had got a car. She got it a little early. We out in her car messing around. I'm, doing everything except sex in the car, right? We're doing everything else though. And she was like, I'm 17. I was 22. I was turning 23 that November. And then she was like, 17 is legal. And she had that old country accent. 17 is legal in Virginia. So I was like, I don't know about all that. I don't know that. So I wasn't going all the way, right? Because I didn't know. She was like, you don't have to worry because 17 is legal in Virginia. So, back then they ain't had no Google or nothing. So I'm just like, I don't know if I trust that. But her 18th birthday was coming up in like 2 months. I was like, damn. If I wait around, I might lose opportunity because she may say, man, forget it. You ain't trying to do nothing. But I hung in there. We still messed around. I was still around like 2 months later. On that 18th birthday, shit. I gave her a nice present. A nice present. I gave her a nice present for her 18th birthday. Boy. Yep, good old Christy. Right. And she was like, I'm a virgin, so if I give you this, like, are you going to disappear from me tomorrow? I was like, girl, no. Like, I work at the same job. Where the hell I'm going? She's like, because I really like you, and you're going to be the first person you're going to pop my cherry and blah, 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 and I don't want you to disappear on me because I gave it to you, whatever. And she was like, my mama told me not to mess with you, and I'm still mess with you against her will. And I hope you don't play me and have me looking stupid and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, girl, just drop them jaws and shut up. So her 18th birthday, she came to my house. Now, I'll tell this story some other time. Let's get back to the business, because we have to still talk about don't tell your friends I gave you some. No, see, Sexy 60. See, let me tell you something. Virginia girls, Mimi, quiet. Virginia, no. Let me tell you something, Mimi. Virginia girls, at least back then, I don't know how they are now, but I was in Roanoke, right? Let me tell you something. Them Roanoke girls were about it. She was like, I don't care. I want you to tell people. Like, she didn't care about telling nobody. She was just like, she was like, if you're gonna tell, she was more like, if you're gonna tell people, you gotta make sure you tell all them bitches that be sweating you. Make sure you tell them. Don't just go tell the boys to keep them away from me. Make sure you tell all them bitches that sweating you what went down. That was her thing. That was her thing. She was like, she didn't care whether I told, because people knew we were messing around. Like, I became public enemy number one because nobody thought. Everybody wanted that girl. Everybody wanted this chick, right? Yeah. Everybody wanted to say, and everybody was like, you ain't gonna get. That's the second time. So no, that was the first time, but then it happened to me again. I'm telling you, I'm the guy, and this is how I've been all my life. To me, I always said I don't have any game. That's what I always thought. I always tell people my game's in my pants. If I can get to that part, if I can get it to that point, it's a wrap. But it's hard getting to my sex game without game. You know what I'm saying? I was never really good at talking to girls or whatever like that. But you remember, I was now a New York dude in Virginia. So my shit was working in Virginia. You know, when I was in New York, like, New York girls are used to New York niggas. So they'd be like, boy, please. You know what I mean? So the game I was throwing in New York, that shit wasn't working with them, with New York girls. Right? I had most of my success with women not from New York. Like, New York women, you have to have a certain game, right? And especially like in the 90s, like, a lot of the girls would liking drug dealers and athletes. Especially 90s in New York. The guys who got most of the girls were drug dealers and athletes. Even before rappers. Right? So, and I was neither. I wasn't a drug dealer and I wasn't an athlete. I played sports, but I wasn't an athlete. So I didn't really have a lot of luck with girls in New York. Most of the women that I've been with were not New York women. I've had a few from New York, but the majority of the women that I slept with are not from New York. Right? You know what I mean? So Sexy 60, I had game in different area codes except my own. because I had the least amount of women in my own hometown. Because like I said, growing up, New York girls liked the drug dealers. You know, that's at least back when I was, when I was coming up. So, yeah. True Scorpio. Me and Diddy, birthday the same day, born 1 minute apart. Free Diddy. I don't care what y'all say. Free Diddy, free Puff. All right, so let's get to Stefon. And I had to double check. People were telling me that the Patriots let him go. I'm like, I hope they did not. And it come to find out that the Patriots are standing behind Stefon Diggs, and that is the right thing to do, right? It's the right thing to do until you find out the truth. You do not want to jump the gun. He's having a great season. He's probably going to win Comeback Player of the Year because he had a bad year last year and he was injured. So he missed the whole entire season. And now he comes back this year with the Patriots, right? And he's had a great year. So he's going to probably win Comeback Player of the Year. And I love the fact that the Patriots did not jump the gun and say, oh, yeah, you're out of here. Right? Because you have to let it play out. Because as I was saying before, and I'm not trying to defend Stefon Diggs, however, I was saying before, Cardi B has so many haters, right? She has so many haters that they will start, finding girls, and girls will start coming out of the woodworks because she sees that they're happy. She sees that he's claiming her, right? So, yeah, but the whole thing is, Mimi, football is the only sport that your contract ain't guaranteed. So just like Stefon Diggs was also in a contract, he just lost his job. He just got cut. So football, they can sign you to a deal, but the only money that's guaranteed is the money you get up front. So if they sign you to a 3-year deal and then something happens and they cut you, that's it. It's not like baseball and basketball when they have to pay you. Football is the only sport, and it's stupid because it's the most dangerous sport. It's a sport you get hurt at the most. But if you sign a 3-year deal, you got to play your 3 years on that team to get your money. If they cut you, that's it. They don't owe you the money. But that's what just happened to his brother. His brother was in a $87 million or $97 million contract. He got cut. That's it. He don't get that money. Now, what I'm glad of is the same thing that happened with Jay-Z. The NFL said, no, we're going to wait until let this play out. The New England Patriots are saying Stefon Diggs has been a model citizen since he's been here. He purchased a home in Massachusetts, right? So we're going to wait and see. Hold on. Oh, my brother. We're going to wait and see, right? So, Stefon, again, man, I hope that it comes out that this is not true. But again, since he's been with Cardi B and he is publicly pretty much claiming Cardi B publicly, people don't like it. And now you're going to start getting these old half-ass chicks looking for a bag. This is what it's become now. Like I said, SZA and Grape has become a hustle. You don't even know whether it's serious anymore. You don't even know whether it's serious anymore. Because it's become a hustle. So here is the girl, and here go academics. And this is why I told Cardi B, you need to cut this dude off, man. Right? She needs to cut off academics. Hold on. Because he called himself being her friend, and all he ever does, right? All academics ever does is try to be messy, right? Hold on. So here's what he put. Here's a picture of the alleged chef Stefon Diggs hired. Chat, y'all think he was donkey effing her too? Now, I have to keep it a buck. That don't look like no chef. I'm going to be totally honest with you. That don't look like no chef. If I'm going to be totally honest, and not when you stare at the picture, but if you are grazing past the picture fast, she resembles Cardi B. Now again, not when you hold the picture there because the picture's kind of blurry. But when you glide past the picture, her shape, her build, her skin, her skin complexion is all similar to Cardi. Now, does that mean he was doing something with the chef? It don't mean that. But it don't mean that, right? But I'm going to tell you something. Stefon Diggs does not have the best reputation, right? Now, again, that still doesn't mean we're not going to blame him and without any sort of proof to say, oh, he had something going with the chef. But I'll just tell you this. It just looks suspect, right? You got the girl allegedly got a room in his house. So you don't go home? Like, you're a chef. Why don't you got your own spot? Like, why is your room in your boss's house? Allegedly. Like, carry your ass home. Why are you living with your boss? Then we got the text message. And she said, the one thing that I turned kind of sideways to is during her text message. Let me see if I can find this text message. During her text message, she said, hold on. She said, okay, I'm out of your life forever. What? All right. Well, you already know that old Messy K, right? You know Messy K was going to be on it. She hates Cardi B. She's obsessed, still obsessed with Cardi. According to newly surfaced court documents, Stefon Diggs personally said the legend she was assaulted during a dispute over payment and later pressured to sign an NDA. Right? Let me see what this says. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Down and having a okay. I'm done having a texting match. You got it. Cool. You will be paying me out for the season. And the money you said you would give me for my business. Wasted my effing time being here because you got an effing circus going on. I'm out of your life. Now, what the hell is a chef, right? What the hell is a chef doing talking like that? I'm out of your life. Well, of course you are. If I'm firing you, of course your ass is out of my life. If I'm firing your ass. Sexy 60 said, at least wear a white jacket and a white hat. You know what I'm saying, Sexy 60? Can your ass look like can you be cooking unhealthy meals? Can your ass at least look like you got a job? See, walking around here in tight ass jeans. What? If I'm Cardi B, I'll be like, get this bitch up out of here. So, this shit is wild. This shit is wild. So, she said, so then he says, I won't be paying you shit if I look like paying you and paying another chef. Is you high? Yeah. Who the F gotta give you money for your business? I don't gotta do a MF thing. And you can get whoever you want. You got my address, so now you offering people to pull up. You got my address. Tell them come here and take the money then. F you talking about. Show me I'm P. So she obviously, if you tell from these text messages, right? She obviously cut some stuff out. Let me see. She cut out her threats. Let me see what this says. She cut out her threats. She says, oh no, I seen that. So he said, show me I'm P. So she must have called him a P and probably said, I'm going to get my whatever. And that's why he said, get whoever you want. See? Yeah, I'm over here sipping, Mimi. I'm over here sipping. So say, get whoever you want to get. So she probably threatened him, but she cut that part out. Then she probably said P, because why else would he say, show me I'm P? Because so she must have said that. Why else would he say, show me I'm P word? Because she probably said, you, P, I'm going to get somebody to, And he said, tell him, come on over here. I thought Tasha K can't talk about Cardi B no more. She stayed talking about Cardi B. Like, this woman's learned nothing. And this is the reason why, if I was Cardi B, I would not have let her off with no settlement. She got off on a settlement where she's only got to pay Cardi B like $1.4 million total. And she's going to do that in like 4 years or some crap like that. I would not allow that broad off because I had to pay my lawyers up front. And I would not even allow her to do no damn settlement because she's still running her fat mouth. Right. That's why she had to stop, because it hasn't cost her anything. It's cost her a couple $100,000, and it's cost her to, move her bank account. She did have to get the house out of her name, so she sold the house. I think her kids not going to college now, and she had to sell her dream house. All that because your ego wouldn't allow you to take the videos down. So your kids suffered, your husband suffered, your whole family suffered because you refused to take down videos. And that old beta-ass man that she's got is still married to her. Still don't come out and be like, Tasha, shut the F up. Like, he's not a man. That's why she married him. She married a beta male so she can do what she wants and he not say nothing. Whole big old black feet. Like, get out of here, lady. She's not attractive. She swears she's hot. Oh, crusty feet. So those are the text messages from when I see Stefon Diggs accused of slapping and choking a personal chef in a pay dispute. What? Slapping and choking and because, right? Because she knows that he's been in the news, she knows about the baby mamas and stuff like that. So now girls are going to start piling on. This is not going to be the last. There's going to be someone else. I'm predicting that right now. Right now. Either a baby mama or some girl that he so-called hooked up with. They're going to come out and also say he did something to them. Watch. This won't be the last. It's going to, and I'll give it 1 week. I'll give it 1 week. They're going to pile on, just like how they do with Diddy, just like how they do with Tyler Perry. Like whenever something happens, a day or two later, here comes somebody else. Now, you might be an old chef to come out and say, yeah, if she see that this girl getting some traction, she may come out, yeah, he did the same thing to me. Or one of them baby mamas, or it's going to be a baby mama who wasn't even a baby mama 2 days ago, but now she a baby mama. Oh, he's the father of my child. He wasn't the father of your child on Monday. How's he the father of your child on Wednesday? Or Monday, as my grandmother used to say. He wasn't the father Monday. How's he the father today? So, I mean, that's the times we living in, y'all. Like, people are haters. They're mad because Cardi's like, hey, he needs to leave those 304s alone. Yeah, I didn't, again, I like Cardi. I rock with Cardi. And I don't know her to be telling her who to date, who not to date. I'm only looking from the outside in, so I don't know what type of relationship they got. But I can only judge him from what he shows everybody. And again, maybe it's an act. Who knows? But from what I know about Stefon Diggs, I wasn't really that excited for Cardi to be. Yeah, okay, great. He looks better than Offset. Okay, cool. But is he going to cause you any less stress than Offset did? That's the question. The question is, is it better just to be with the devil you know or the devil you don't know? How about just not be with the devil at all? Right? But she was making the videos and she was saying, when she was referring to, I can't turn back the clock and stuff like that, she was mostly referring to the fact that girls are talking about the baby mamas. The baby, people try to make it seem like, oh, Stefon Diggs cheated. Stefon Diggs has not been with her 9 months, right? So Stefon Diggs was not cheating on her and then had the babies. Because I think they only made it official, what, Valentine's Day? Or maybe after that? No. She was with Offset on Valentine's Day. So probably around April, maybe. They made it official. So he had already got with those girls. So it's not like he cheated on her. He was already with those girls. Right? So that's when she was talking about turn back the clock. And then she was saying, oh, I can't put the baby. Oh, yeah, I guess her fans were saying that you had a baby by this guy and stuff. And she was like, I can't put the baby back up in my cooch. Y'all, you need to stop dragging me. I'm doing that. This is another, right? So, wow. Again, man. It's her decision. This who she picked to be with. It's kind of hard to change now because then breaking new detail now against my dad. He's accused of hitting and choking. Let me see what this idiot was saying.
Employee.
Hold on. This is academics. Cardi B's friend.
I think he was fucking. When a chick say I'm out your life, she's not.
See, I said
just your chef. She's your lover. Your employee don't say this.
See? You see what I'm saying?
Just your chef.
Me?
She's your lover. Your employee don't say this. Your employee don't say I'm out your life. Your employee says I am no longer employed. You're fucking her. I'll say the quiet part out loud. Stefon Diggs, you on horny motherfucker, and Cardi B, this is the man you make. I think he was fucking. When a chick say I'm out your life, she's not just your chef.
See, listen. And Mimi, I know you're not gonna like this because you love Cardi B. I love Cardi B too. But I gotta call it how I see it. If I leave a job, right? When I used to work at Target, back in the day, when I was walking out there to quit, I did not say, I'm out of y'all's life. And if I got fired from somewhere, I didn't go to the boss and say, I'm out of your life. That don't even sound like what an employee should be saying. Right? And she has not been working for him that long. She couldn't have been. I think they said she was hired like about May. since he bought a house in New England or Massachusetts? So yes, that sounds suspect. It does. It's okay to admit that to the Cardi B fans who are going to get mad, because it's not a knock on Cardi B. It's a knock on Stefon Diggs. Right? Stefon Diggs is, I don't know, man. Like I said, I don't get in women's relationships. I try to stay out of relationships. You know, you pick who you pick, you like who you like. Cool. But if we were just judging, right? If we're just judging, and because we don't know these people like that, right? We don't know these people like that. So when you don't know people like that, what's the old saying? Perception is reality, because we don't know anything else. So we can only go on perception. That's the reason why a lot of people don't like to look bad, right? They don't like to look bad in the public eye, because if the public don't know somebody, they're going to go on what they are looking like to you, like, right? What they're showing you. And Stefon Diggs, so far, since him and Cardi's been together, you've had the baby mama stuff. You've had the what's my name, daddy. Then you had the rumors of that one who called him daddy on video. There was rumors that she slept with him. The same one that called him daddy on video. Then you got him on whatever that was, Christmas or whatever. We don't know the full story for that, so we can't really talk about it. Now you got this. Before that, if you just judge back and look back how he was before Cardi, he was pretty much doing the same thing. Every time you turn around, didn't he? Who did he smash with? He was messing with Young Miami, and then he's messing with some of it like before Cardi B. But he's never really been a guy that was going to settle down, even with the kids that he got. So it's just a little hard, not saying it's impossible, but it's a little hard to think that 7, 8, 9 months later, all of a sudden, because he had a baby, he's got other kids, but 9 months later, I'm a changed man. Can it happen? Yeah. Is it likely that it happens so quickly? Nah. So my whole point is, yeah, he might be better looking than Offset. He got more money than Offset. She might feel a little bit more protected with him than Offset, because everybody knows Offset can't fight a lick. And Offset strikes me as somebody who would push Cardi B in front of him to save him. If somebody pull out a gun, he looked like the type. Not saying Offset would do this, but Offset looks like the type that would pull Cardi B in front of him and have them shoot her. That's the vibes he gives me. So she probably feel a little bit more safer with Stefon Diggs. But hey, I could be wrong. I don't see any difference. I'm be honest with you. I don't see any different. Because kind of like Offset, in the first few months that she was with Offset, she had issues with other chicks. She had issues with other chicks. In the first few months, she was with Offset. Then when she got married, she had issues with Offset. Stefon Diggs just don't strike me as a... Now, again, if her and Stefon Diggs have an open relationship, right? If her and Stefon Diggs have agreed that, this don't have to be exclusive, like, or even if she said, I'll only F you, but you can F around with other girls. Like, if you bring them to the bedroom for both of us, because we know Cardi goes both ways. If she did say this, she needs to come out and say that. Right? You need to come out and say that. Like Tiana Taylor did. Like, there's been a couple of women who have come out and said, oh, yeah, I bring women to bed for me and my husband, or for me and my man, or what have you. Karuchi used to do it, Chris Brown. Tiana Taylor did it for Iman Shumpert. Lala used to do it for Mello. Alicia Keys allegedly does it for Swizz Beatz. Especially the women that enjoy other women. But when you're acting as though like you two are exclusive and it's just you and him and you, this is when this looks bad, right? Like I said, I hope this turns out not to, and I don't mean settle. I don't mean settle it. I want him to fight this and it get dismissed for not enough evidence or what have you. Because she doesn't have, from what I read, she don't got no pictures. She said she reported, what did she report? That her cheek being red. I think she put up a police report or whatever, a complaint, but she didn't have any pictures of it. Well, I'm sorry. That's not good enough for me. I'm sorry, sis, because you can tell me anything. Right? You could tell me anything. And there have been too many men lied on, especially lately, for me to believe that with no pictures. Right? So that stuff don't move me. Like, oh yeah, and my cheeks were red. Okay. Take any pictures? Take any pictures? Well, no, but yeah, okay. Okay. Then I'm not saying he didn't do it. I'm just saying you can't complain about it. Because you ain't got no pictures, sis. Sheesh. Now, this whole thing about she said court documents reveal Stefon Diggs' personal self alleges she was slapped, choked, thrown onto her bed. The woman claims Diggs demanded she sign an NDA after the assault as a condition of further payment. Complaint alludes alleged text exchange between them. Okay. According to police documents, Stefon Diggs' producer said she later received messages from someone believed to be Diggs' girlfriend. Oh, please don't let that be Cardi. Please. Allegedly telling her the situation wasn't that big of a deal. Oh, no. I don't know if I want this to be Cardi or not, because then if it ain't Cardi, they're going to be like, well, who the hell is his girlfriend? I thought his girlfriend was Cardi B. I don't want her. I hope it ain't her. I hope it ain't her. Please don't let it be you. Bacalise. I hope it ain't her. I'd rather her deal with the, well, who the hell was messaging her, Stefon? You know, maybe it's his publicist. You know? Never know. Now, if the girl said it's the girlfriend, might be an issue. But if the girl never said, if the one messaging her never said who she was, maybe it's his publicist. You never know. Never know. I'm trying to throw you some bail here, Stefon. So now here we go. Stefon is a woman beater. Court documents allege that Stefon Diggs physically assaulted his chef over pay dispute, including being slapped, choked, thrown on the bed. She claimed Diggs required her to sign an NDA. But my point is this. There go the incident. Man. Do you see how black men, and when I bring this up, everybody always gets on me, oh. But you see how black men, as soon as somebody accuses them, they're automatically guilty. Like, they're not going to say, oh, we're going to wait and see. As soon as somebody accuses somebody black, they're automatically guilty. And it's messed up. It's messed up. No, again, I didn't say that she was. I just said I hope she's not. Because even though Cardi's smart, Cardi's very emotional. I didn't think she would be getting in that situation that she got in when she first popped off. I'm like, nah, Cardi wouldn't be that dumb. She just blew up. Come to find out, she was that dumb. So Cardi B is very emotional. And she's a hothead. So it don't even have nothing to do with her being smart. If she's a hothead, you know, she lets the emotions get the best of her sometimes. And for her call her, say, oh, it's not a big deal, you know, don't make a big deal out of it. Don't blow it up, it's another. Because you have to remember something. Whenever you put, and she said this on video, she said before, this is why I didn't want my relationship out there. But thanks to her friend, people that I told that, like, and I got my DM to prove it, and I got Red to prove it, and maybe I'll turn out wrong. But so far, I have told Cardi B 5 different occasions, and she read all these texts. I mean, all these DMs, because you can look in our DM and it says Red. I told her to cut off Armand Wigwam years ago. How'd that turn out? I told her to cut off Joe Budden years ago. How'd that turn out? Right? I told her after Offset hid the phone right there in front of everybody, when he hid that phone, when he was playing that game and she came in and he hid the phone for the whole world to see, at that moment, I DM'd her and said, I can't tell you what to do, but I would leave him. How'd that turn out? That's 3 right there. I told her, cut off Joe Budden. She didn't. And my 4th one is, I told her when DJ Academics came and told everybody she slept with Stefon Diggs and made it seem like she did it while she was pregnant, and then she came on and said, oh, the reason why I like Academics is, Academics, he tells me like it is and this, that, and the other. I said, Academics is not a friend. He is friends with Offset. He always admits it. Offset's my guy. So I told her then, cut this dude off. He be talking about, oh, Nicki Minaj is the only rapper, all the rest of you chicks, this, that, and the third. He done disrespected Cardi, insulted her so much about her skills, and she still stays friends with him. Like, she still talks to this dude, still texts him. Like, this dude has called you out several times. Pretty much laughed at you and said, oh, Stefon Diggs is this, that, and the third. All said you leave. All said was cheating, but at least he was mad. At least he put a ring on you. DJ Academics is not her friend. He has disrespected her too many times. So even right now, if he is her friend, why would he come on here and say he's effing that chef? You didn't call Cardi B and out of respect for Cardi B say, you know what, I'm not going to say nothing because I'm cool with Cardi and this, that, and the other. Dude has no shame, has no care in the world. She should have been cut that dude off. Who is this? R. Hiltz, R for NT. Bye. Hello, Arf Hill and Thea. If I was her, I would delete this dude and block him. Delete him and block him. I hope she ain't told him nothing that if she blocks him, he start coming out and saying, I know, Cardi. I'll expose it. Like, I don't know why anybody would tell this clown anything. So hopefully, hopefully she hasn't. She said, oh, we talk. Like, why you talk to this dude? Like, I don't understand. Like, why anybody would talk to Academics. They see how he gets down. She was friends with Megan. She saw how, and that's got to be pretty awkward, right? Because she was friends with Meg, and then she's friends with Academics, and Academics has always dogged Meg out. He's always called her names, called her Meg the horse, this, that, and the third. And then she's friends with Megan. She was calling Megan her sister at one point. But then she said she's cool with academics, but academics dragging Megan at one point every single day. So it's kind of hard and that is the reason why a lot of these relationships in the industry don't last, because you can be cool with other people, but it's kind of awkward. That's like if I'm real cool with somebody, right? Let's just say Mimi, right? Real cool with Mimi. Now, there's somebody in the chat that Mimi don't really mess with, right? And now this person is publicly dogging Mimi in another chat. And I'm going over there to that person's live, watching their live while they're dogging out Mimi. Like, I would expect Mimi to feel some type of way, like, my nigga, like, I thought we was cool. Like, I thought we was down. Like, if we're cool and you know this person ain't cool with me and this person is dogging me out, like, why are you going in their live, like, to this suite? That would be a little awkward, right? I don't know, man. I thought when DJ Academics came on there talking about, oh, Stefon Diggs is this, that, and the third, Cardi B, but, you know, he was basically saying Cardi B is, you know, she does not live up to Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj is the only one that sells. These girls don't sell. He didn't even say, well, except for Cardi B. He said, these girls don't sell. Nicki Minaj is the only one that sells. If I was Cardi B, I'd be like, yo, what are you talking about? You call yourself my friend. We talk on the phone. You call yourself my friend. Like, but you telling me I don't sell and all these girls are trash. Nicki Minaj is the only one. Like, anyway. Again, man, I just think she needs to cut people like Academics off. Right? And she needs to cut people off. Wait, what's it called? What's what called? What's what called, sexy? Two-Face? Two-Face. Yeah, that's called two-faced. You know, you two-faced. You tell me one thing, and you tell this other person another thing. You know? But I am glad that the New England Patriots are going to wait till it plays out. You know, and they know that it is very important to have Stefon on their team. They're entering the playoffs after next week. They got a real chance to do something. They could make it to the Super Bowl. But if they don't have Stefon Diggs, they're not making it to the Super Bowl. With Stefon Diggs, they have a chance. Now, I'm hoping two things. I'm hoping, number one, this don't distract them, because he's really been playing well. And if something does come out that proof of that he did something, I hope they can just discipline him and be like, look, but we're going to keep him. We ain't going to cut you. We'll discipline you after the season. That's what I would do. Yeah, we'll discipline you, but after the season. You know, if we going to discipline you, we'll discipline you for the first 2 games next year. Not this year, my nigga. We got a chance to go to the bowl. Hell, discipline is discipline, right? We going to discipline him, just not this year. I'm sorry. I want to win. Find out. Oh, you slapped that chef? Oh, word. Well, you going to get dealt with next year. This year, the Chiefs are out. The Ravens are going to be out. Yo, we got a chance. We ain't had a chance like this in 10 years. All the teams that were good last year, most of them ain't good this year. The Chiefs ain't in it. The Ravens or Steelers, one of the two gonna be out. We got a shot. Let's see. I'm again. Stay your ass out of trouble, right? Now stay your ass out of trouble. Now get on out of here. Oh, people gonna be mad. Oh, he needs to be suspended. And all of these Cardi B haters, all of a sudden want to talk football. Whether never pay attention to football. Oh, suspend him. The hell you know? What the hell you even know about football? Oh, he needs to be suspended. Bitch, shut up. We got a chance to go to the Super Bowl. You're going to be dealt with, Stefon, next year. So he signed to a 3-year contract. If it comes out that something happened, we're going to discipline you for the first 2 games of next year. F that. F that. We need you. For real. Or suspend a 1 game next week. Because next week don't matter. They're already in the playoffs. We're going to discipline him. He's going to sit down for 1 game. Because they don't need him next week anyway. So that's what I would do, just so people can shut their mouth. Be like, we're going to discipline him for a 1 game disciplinary. Hey, they did something. You can't say they didn't do nothing. You gonna be suspended for 1 game next week. They don't need him anyway. You gonna miss next week. Oh man, that's funny. Anyway, all right, y'all. That was funny. I'm about to get up out of here, man. If I don't go live tomorrow, Happy New Year to y'all. Y'all been rocking with me all year. I appreciate y'all. Y'all still ain't. One thing, y'all, is the good news. Y'all certainly ain't got to file no taxes and include any super chats or whatever. Y'all ain't even hit me up give me for my birthday. Only Jocelyn. One or two people may have on my birthday. But shout out to Jocelyn, wherever she is. Jocelyn and my boy, my moderator, he would send me super chats from time to time and cash apps. But Happy New Year to you guys. If you go out tomorrow or today, later on today, be safe. And we'll be back here, God willing. If not tomorrow, something happens. Or something happens tomorrow, we may do a breaking report or whatever. Make sure you check out my podcast, which is The Industry Tonight. Podcast episode 1 is going to be coming up. And we'll post it. That's it, man. I appreciate y'all. Sexy 60. I don't know where Marcel is. I don't know if he's still here. Everybody over on Twitch, Facebook. What else? And of course, the IE network. For me and my brother, Wes Clark, the director. Mimi, DM me. I gotta ask you something. Wes Clark, the director. Mimi, DM me. Anyway, y'all, I love y'all. I'll see y'all next time, man. Catch y'all on the next one. This has been another installment of the Heaven Hollywood Experience. Well, in the damn stream. Hold on. Damn stream ain't trying to end, man.